Alright guys, we're back with more Pro R content. Today we're going to be throwing on some aftermarket assassin parts. We got the exhaust, we got the clutch kit, and we got Atlas ORV radius rods. This is the 7075, the strongest billet you can get. And we're putting them on all the cars. We got them all coming, but right now we're going to be throwing on the Pro R for now. But I'm not going to lie, I'm really excited to hear this aftermarket Assassin's exhaust put on here. The Pro R is it's been an up and down saga so far, and so I'm really hoping this is the uphill part of it, of just being more and more badass. But we're going to be throwing in the clutch kit with the helix, secondary, primary, spring, and also what's cool about this exhaust is it actually has a cutout, so you can open and close one of the cylinders here. So I know a lot of people are saying that it's really loud, but I should be able to help. And today we're gonna find out, because I'm gonna be definitely ripping it around and letting you guys hear it. Yeah. So last video you guys saw, I put the 35s on with the System 3 rims, ripping at the blog race. She's a beautiful looking rig, but god dang is it slow. It is a slow turd, I'm not gonna lie. She looks great, she rides great, but it's not fast. Hopefully these AA parts get us that much closer to being a little bit more competitive, dialing in those 35s, because I'll have adjustable weights and everything. And with the AA, once I send my ECU in, because in this video it's just gonna be the clutch kit and the exhaust, I have to send the ECU in. It's a new Bosch ECU. They have not been able to use a dyno jet or anything like that to be able to just download your tune. So once I send it in and I get it back, we'll be sitting stage 2, and it should be around 250 horsepower to the crank. Stock is 225, so 25 horsepower gain. I think it's like 16 or 19 rear wheel horsepower gain. I'm super excited. So let's get this thing started and put on these badass parts. Oh, that was super easy. Couple bolts, just pinch these little clips on the back. Got access to it. Just 2 bolts holding the header onto the exhaust there. This should be like a 2-second job realistically. So I think that's... Oh my gosh. You loosen those, right?
No.
Just like that.
I don't know where to go.
Yeah, I don't know where to go either.
It's just so...
Here, hang on. So once you get her unhooked and everything, it's just like this one little piece here you gotta take out, and I think you can just slip her out right out the rear end. Alright, you might have to take off the tip too, I don't know. You might have not even needed to take it down the bottom thing. just wing it here, guys. Letting you know all the things you shouldn't do.
I think we gotta kick it out now. Oh,
there we go.
Wow.
Yeah, I recommend taking out both pieces. It makes it easier, then you can just kick it out the rear end. Easy peasy. I mean, in 2 seconds we should have this exhaust on, but I mean, it feels like a crime if you do not start this with no exhaust. Wow, that was insane. I did not think it would be that loud. It felt. It's
monster truck 4-cylinder header.
Yeah, the stock exhaust is like so quiet on this. That was just like level 1 to 10. It feels like. All right, to make our lives a little bit simpler, since the exhaust is off right now, instead of just throwing the new one on immediately, we're gonna throw on the Atlas ORV radius rods. They're fixed. You can get them adjustable. It's up to you. In my opinion, probably the most affordable badass radius rods you can get right now for a side-by-side. It is a small business, but the guy is very good at what he does. And 7075 billet, strongest you can get. If you price comparison against ZRP, with their increase to be the strongest billet, I mean, these things are your best bang for your buck. And like I said, we're switching all of our vehicles to these things. Very happy with the quality. And they're going to look sharp on the Pro R. I didn't get them powder coated. I kind of want to just leave it the raw billet. I think it looks good with my System 3 fake billet rims. But Since the nuts are so accessible right now, we're just gonna tack it real quick. It should be a quick, easy job. All right, we got the wheels ripped off. Got a ridiculously huge block. There's so much ground clearance with these cars. It was kind of difficult getting this whole thing lifted up with the 35s. First time really looking over the unitized wheel bearing setup here and the radius rods and everything, and man, oh, it's a big dog, dude. I think that's
18 anymore.
No, that's a
21, 20.
Wow,
is it, it's a 21 now. Woo! 18 to 21. Way bigger hardware on this thing. One thing I am gonna say, guys, is see that scraper right there? That's meant to keep like rocks out of your rim. But I'm actually gonna take this thing off because I'm worried of a rock getting stuck in here and just grinding through my wheel. I've seen it on a forum where that happened to somebody, so just preventative maintenance, I'd rather just have it open. Wow. Pro R's rear end is looking real bare right now. But man, if you did have to work on this at all, your exhaust comes out in 2 seconds. Pretty easy. The bed comes off in 2 seconds. But needless to say, radius rods, Atlas ORV are ready to put on. It came with a plate and everything, so man, she's ready to be put back together. For disassembly and reassembly, it is the same setup as any other Razor. It's just bigger. That's all it is. Just bigger and beefier. All right. Chainsaw that thing on there. Atlas ORVs are basically installed, and I'm not gonna lie, the easiest radius rod install I've ever done. So they do provide you with new hardware for the plate because it is thicker. You can use the stock hardware by the hub area. Just super easy installation. So all the bushings that he provides for these are exactly the same for every spot. You do not have to figure out where they go.
All same.
All the same. Okay, so they did solve a little bit of an issue to get to that bottom nut. There is a hole right here.
Right here.
Yeah, right there. For you to get your wrench. It makes it a lot easier. Sitting high, looking like a monster truck, but we're gonna slide this AA exhaust in. Ooh, should be easy peasy.
Well, you just need this one mount, and then you gotta put your other.
Oh yeah, we gotta put that one mount back in, and then it has that. Is it just a single hook on this one and not a dual?
I mean, it's dual, but it's not triple.
Oh, it's not triple. Yeah, it's just
side a little bit.
definitely need some sort of thing to cover up where the plastic was. You could put on the plastic, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it open so you can see that awesome AA exhaust. All right, now for the next thing. This does have a header that can open and close. The electronic piece is right here. You're gonna have to plug it in and run the wiring above the frame and down through the tunnel in the middle, and then you got the awesome plug-and-play harness setup. But let me show you the wiring harness for this exhaust. Right here is the wiring harness itself. Literally, Mike from Aftermarket Assassins has already got all the plugs already where they need to be, so no guessing. And he gives you a plug for the plug-and-play system on a Polaris. Legit wiring harness and everything. Comes with the instructions. It's easy peasy, guys. All right, start running this wire. You're gonna wanna open up your glove box. And then there's that case right there you're gonna pop out. That gets you to your pulse bar. And what I'm hoping is me just popping off my shifter cover and this cup holder, I'll be able to run my wire right up to it. We'll see. Well, we are gonna pop off the back panel because I gotta do the clutching still. And it should be easy peasy. They're all turn tabs. I think it's 6 of them all together. It's 2 pieces separated. Should slide. Yeah, it should slide right out. Easy peasy. Got a couple T40s right here, and then these quick releases, and then a couple quick releases in your glove box. Boom, slides right out, and now you can take this back panel off. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, here's our, yep.
All right, this is my first time getting a real look at the clutch housing, and you can see this is the ventilation that goes to the front hood scoop, driving air right to it. Oh wow, it has a turnkey on it.
On both these, yeah.
Oh wow, that's pretty nice.
That was actually really loose. That was not tight.
Oh well, that's good. I'm not surprised. Thanks, Polaris. But some of these do have where it's captured on the cover. Oh no, these are actual.
Wow, these twist.
Excuse me. The bottom is actually twist caps, and the top is your regular hardware. Why wouldn't they do the whole thing? I don't know. I think they hate their customers sometimes. They could have made this so easy by just continuing the turn tabs all the way
That
around.
turn tab hits your coolant pipes,
Oh, that's good.
but I think it's open.
All right, I will say the worst part about doing any of this is actually running the wire from the exhaust down to the fuse block. So you gotta take obviously this all apart like we said, and we took out all the screws and the little push pin things for this so it's loose. And then Garrett was able to wiggle his arm down there and along the side, and we ran it. And it's going up and along the frame rail all the way to the back. That is plugged in. And then we got the infamous Polaris plug and play that they give you. And Mike gives you instructions for everything on what you need to do. He even gives you eye hooks for if you didn't want to use this and just hook it straight to the bus bar. But she's ready to be plugged in.
Started with it shut, right?
Yeah, I'll start it with this shut and then we'll go to open.
Pretty quiet. Not super quiet, but good. I told you it's gonna be deeper. Oh yeah, dude.
Wow.
Wow.
That is what this car needed.
Sound like a race car.
This car needed this exhaust because it sounded way too sissy before. I mean, even when I was like at the dunes or hauling butt down the trails, it's like I know this car is performing unbelievably, but like it just sounds so sissy. Now it sounds like an import car, like a real import car.
Like a race car.
Yeah, like Vin Diesel would probably hop in this thing and do burnouts and wheelies sitting still somehow. This thing is wicked, but yeah, simple process. Worst thing about it is doing the wiring, which realistically isn't that bad. It's just the worst part about it. But we got one thing left, and that is the clutch kit. So we're going to start on that. I know these clutches are massive. I've never looked at them, so I'm kind of excited. Y'all hear that? That's a Pro R mystery clunk right there. So they got this metal plate here, I'm assuming for belt explosions, try to prevent them from backlashing in the back, obviously. And look, you can hear it. That's exactly what it sounded like when I was driving through the dunes. And it explains why, if I'm in a stiffer suspension, why it doesn't do it as much. It's just not moving nearly as much because the suspension's stiffer. And yeah, she's loose. I actually felt a Pro R the other day at the dealership.
It wore the plastic down on your
Did it?
cover. Like on that tip.
Oh yeah, it did, didn't it? Yep, you can see where it's been bee-slapping it for a while. But yeah, if you guys have a mystery clunk that you do not know what it is, check this metal thing. It could just be loose and it's just bee-slapping the top of your clutch cover. But right now we're taking the cover off. It has the quick releases on the bottom, and then they got the screws on the top because Polaris hates you and they want you to work harder, not smarter. But let's zip her off. All right, we got the clutch cover off, and again, F you Polaris, because holy smokies, Garrett's actually taking the tool off that they got built right in there. Snaps in. It's not in your glove box in the bag. It's right there on top of the cover. But man, it is ridiculous trying to get the cover off. I'm not a fan. If you were to try doing a speedy belt change, if you had to for some reason,
You're not doing
there is no speed. Like this metal cover down there really restricts you from getting the bolt out. Yeah.
The bolt doesn't even come out.
Yeah, the bolt doesn't even come out. You really got to jimmy this thing out of there. Almost there. There you go. Ooh-wee. I will say, this secondary and primary are huge. They're hefty. This belt looks pretty big. Let's grab a stock belt real quick and compare.
Yeah, you got length.
It's way longer. So that's a stock Turbo S belt versus a Pro R belt. Width-wise, just a little bit bigger, but hella longer. Alright, we're going to start zipping this cover off. We're going to leave the clutch right on. It's just too much of a pain in the butt to try getting it off. Alright guys, we made a silly move. We really should have taken off the torque right here because we do have to slip this nut off. Alright, so you want to take out the bolt out of this. We should have done that from step 1, but we didn't. And then that has just got a rubber gasket on it, and you can pull it right out.
Yeah,
and
I don't want to ruin the rubber gasket.
Yeah, be careful with that.
Pull the gasket off first.
I would just remove the gasket right there, slip that little gold ring off, and then you're going to slide that silver one on, and that's your new limiter washer for the primary. So our next task is going to be changing out the weights. Alright, so I got the high engagement helix, and the springs that I got is the gray with the red line and the orange with the blue line. That's your secondary spring, that's your primary spring.
Like half the weight.
Half the weight for this?
Yeah, right.
Oh, that feels like nothing. This is Billet. This is your revolver clutch cover, which I haven't said it one time in this video. You can get it right at dirtdudesutv.com. You can get all your Pro R parts there, guys. And it helps support us. And yes, that is considerably heavier and weaker. And that looks way more badass. Weights are super easy and accessible, and then once you put these aftermarket assassin weights, you can just change them easily. Alright, so this is your stock weight. Obviously no holes on the side, you cannot change it. This is an aftermarket assassin's weight. This is the heel, this is the tip. So when you get your sheet that Mike sends with all this stuff, which is right here, it will have what weight setup you need for what tire size and what level of tune. I'm running a level 2 tune with 35s, so I will be running a 1, 2, 3. That will be from the heel to the tip. You get this big set of earth magnet weights, and this is how simple it is to put in there. Boom, 3 at the very end, and then 2 right in the middle. And so what's nice about these weights is, let's say you changed your tire setup for maybe the dunes or just different tire sizes in general. This is what makes it to where your car has all the power possible by just changing those little weights.
It goes like outside like this, right? Like,
yeah, it goes right outside like that. No, guys, put her inside, easy peasy, slide the pin through, and it's as easy as that. And then we'll move on to the secondary. So we're just gonna put the bolt back in now, and then you can see this is the old cover. Ain't garbage. We're gonna be putting in the new badass Billet revolver cover right from Aftermarket Assassins. Get it right on our website, Dirt Dudes UTV, and then don't forget the gray spring with the red line.
oh my god.
Ooh, yeah, that spring has a lot more tension. Yeah, that would help if you bring that closer too. Alright, she's looking sharp. Cover's awesome. Sucks that nobody gets to see it, but dang. It provides a little bit more airflow, but overall it's stronger. Holds this thing together better. But now it's time to move on to the secondary. Alright, you got a little washer on there. Ooh, another one.
3 of them.
3 of them all together. Alright, let's remember what order those are in. There we go. And then look at that giant helix. She's going bye-bye though. Okay, once you rip both sheaves off, you got 3 bolts on the back. You zip them off and you can take the helix right out. Once you take this sheave apart, you got obviously this little coupler here, your stock spring, which is way longer than the AA spring that you're going to be putting in. This is your AA helix. This will help with better and smoother engagement. And here's your stock one, which looks super weird, almost like a boat impeller. It's definitely got way different angles. And then you don't want to forget, in your AA clutch kit, you can add on these butter washers, which is going to help with spring binding and also add a little bit of pressure on the spring, like 10 to 15 pounds, and that will help with belt slippage. Now we're just going to slap her back together, put her back in the car, install everything, and we should be pretty much good to go. Here's one thing I also noticed on the secondary, because this is just a giant version of what's on my Turbo S, is they added little clips here at the end of the rollers, which is nice because on my Turbo S, these love to pop off all the time. You can also get HD versions of this right on our website, dirtdudesutv.com. She's assembled, the inside's all put together, Atlas radius rods, Aftermarket Assassins exhaust, the clutch kit with the electronic switch to open her up, Captain's Choice style. Now the only thing to do is go test her out. Let's see if I can tell the difference With the clutch kit being in there and being tuned for 35s, yes, I do not have the tune in there yet. I have to send in my ECU. I just haven't had time. I'll be coming up here soon. But it should help a little bit, especially with the engagement and everything. And I was not a huge fan of how it sounded. It needed more. That's the biggest thing for me. I'm really excited to just hear the exhaust.
I'm mildly sick, no worries. And Chief is going to do the thing. We're gonna give him a thumbs up. This thing sounds bananas. Oh, okay, big dog. Wow. She's screaming for joy. Wow.
What do you think?
She purrs like a kitten.
Yeah?
And growls like a tiger.
It sounds pretty awesome. Okay, let's do a couple. Hop in here and let's drive around a little bit.
Okay.
This thing sounds ridiculous. It has to be open. Closed doesn't even, it's not in my vocabulary. I like the loud exhaust. I don't listen to music because I'm videotaping for you guys, so why not louder car? Sounds better, it makes me feel better. We're gonna do a little bit more ripping around. Laura needs to be in the car and hear it, plus she wants to drive it. The rear end of the Pro R's came a long way. Looks sick. Only got to drive it a little bit.
Looks way better than the bolt hole that was there before.
Very true.
Yeah, she sounds like the Pro R already sounds cool, but it was pretty quiet. Now she sounds badass.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, so freaking cool. Louder, cooler, better. I don't know. This is great.
Alright guys, if you want any of these parts, head right to our website, dirtdudesutv.com. Link for it right below. Same with Atlas ORV. Their website's right below. And you want 10% off on these? Dirt Dude 10. It's all in the description. You can see that. You can see that with all of our sponsors. The one thing I gotta say about the AA exhaust is electronic cutout. If you are worried about it being too loud, that's the key right there. That will solve everything. With one shut, it sounds great. It's perfect in my opinion for a casual rider. But if you open up both, that's me. I like the loud exhaust. I like sounding gnarly, and so you get both options with one exhaust.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. Thank you, AA, and yeah, can't be any happier. And hit up our Patreon for longer videos, ad-free, early access. Everybody that's on there, we cannot thank you enough. You show us so much support. It's unbelievable. And yeah, that's a wrap. We'll see you in the next one.